All right. Well, we're live already, and I wasn't paying attention. Welcome to today's Q&A. My name is Jesse, here with Decker Truckline, here to answer some of your top questions about Decker and what's going on and what kind of positions we have available, equipment, all that good stuff. So, let's, as always, I'm writing myself notes already. As always, if you have a question, please go and put it in the chat and we will answer them as they come in. All right? All right. So let's see. First of all, let's see. Hey, Andrew, how are you? Andrew's on here. Fantastic. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, come say hi. Use the chat, and that way, as I see them come in, that's when I'll be answering them. Otherwise, I'll be hitting on a few questions or a few common questions so that we can make this progressive for you. Hello from Wisconsin, Dean says. Cold, and I guess we got a little snow overnight. Nothing like before, though. Where were you? Nebraska yesterday? We have a lot of snow still. And ice. My goodness, all those side roads there, they are ice. Yes, indeed. So please be careful. We've talked about this the last couple of weeks with the weather coming out of, I want to say out of nowhere, but really it hasn't been. We've had some warnings all around, right? So with the weather as bad as it has been, we've put out several reminders to our professional drivers here at Decker that if the roads are not safe, if you need to pull over and take a break until the roads clear, don't pull over to the side of the road. Get into a safe place, please. But if you're going to need to do that, then just communicate with your driver leader. Let them know. We would really appreciate you just reaching out to them and letting them know. But yes, by all means, by all means, make that call. If it's not safe enough to be out on the road, make that call. And there's, safety has got to be your forethought, and no load is as important as you. So always remember that. Dean says he went through Cincinnati and Louisville, and after their foot of a snowstorm that they never cleaned up. Yeah, it's a little bit different over there. Well, maybe I would think Cincinnati would have plenty of cleanup crews, but if it's more than they're used to, then I get it, right? Because sometimes they're not packed. I mean, think of Alabama when they get hit with a skiff. It's, to a lot of us in the Midwest and the West, we think, oh, that's just a skiff. Yeah, but think about the number of people who have never driven in any type of snow or on any type of slick road. I mean, give them some courtesy. They don't know. And to us, it might not be a big deal, but it is in their area. And how do you clean that up? We've got tow trucks, I should say, snow plows and whatnot. And when they, you go into an area that's not used to it, you don't see them as much. So yeah, please be careful. A couple of quick tips on that. And maybe you guys can give me some to share as well. If you've got some tips on driving in the snow or driving in winter weather, go ahead and put it in the chat. Let me share that along with everybody else. So some of them that I would highly suggest is, as always, you're doing your pre-trip. You're doing your pre-trip, your post-trip, right? When you do that, make sure that you are planning, like looking at the weather for the day ahead. Where are you going? What's your trip, right? Go follow your route. And then look at the weather for along the way. Go to those locations and kind of see what they're expecting. If it's an area like this last week where it was just a whole blanket of area that was seeing weather, most of us, then yeah, we'll send out Mobilecom, or we'll send out a message to your apps to let you know, hey, be aware, pull over if you need to, get yourself into a safe spot, shut her down if you need to. And that's okay. It's just making sure that we know what you're doing so that we can communicate it to your to the customer. But yeah, my point is, make sure that you're going ahead and looking ahead so that you can plan for extra time. So instead of waiting, especially in the winter, right? If you've got if you've got all day to run, but you only have a couple of hours that you need to drive because of how far you are, don't start at the end of the day. Do that right out of the gate. Get it off your plate, right? It's like eating the frog. How many, do you guys know that? It's like a procrastination method. So go and take care of that first, and then you can take your break. And the reason before is you might not know what the weather's going to be like on the other end or even along the way. So as long as you can, get there ahead of time, you're allowing yourself that extra time if need be. So much of it is out of your hands. You don't know what the traffic's going to be like, if there's going to be an accident. And so you're doing your best to plan ahead. Making yourself available, right? Yeah. Eating the Frog. I'll have to Google it. Yeah. Yes, it's a book. There's tons of teaching resources on it, actually. Yeah. I'm having a brain fart on who did it. John. Oh my goodness. Anyways, yes, Eating the Frog. Totally lost my mind on that one. Anyways, that's one tip. Planning ahead, giving yourself a little bit of extra time. That's actually two. And, and making sure that you have plenty of supplies too. You want to have some non-perishables, some cans of soup or water or whatever, and make sure that you've got a little bit, you can serve a little bit on the side. Christina, hi Christina. Just wanted to know about the cost of living raises for your lease purchase drivers. Do they ever get one? No, cost of living is not a factor in our lease purchase. So let me dive into that one a little bit. Okay, first of all, we don't currently have lease purchase or owner operator positions available. We have lease purchase and owner operators. All right, we have them, and we've got about 73. We have 73 lease purchase owner operators, but we don't have new positions available for that. Okay, so I want to premise with that. Secondly, when it comes to raises for the lease purchase and owner operators, we don't have we don't have a raise for cost of living each year or anything like that. What we do have is you're paid a percentage. So 72% of the line haul revenue. That's what our owner operators and lease purchase drivers are paid, plus the fuel surcharge. But with that said, we're looking at our contracts each year, and the rate per mile, that kind of stuff is always looked at. And yes, cost of living, and not necessarily cost of living, but cost of doing business is estimated. It's taken into consideration each time. So no, we don't have cost of living raises. However, yes, you'll see increase in rates and whatnot, depending on the economy. So those are things that we're factoring in when we go to negotiate the rates. So I think that's probably the best way for me to explain it. So, but if the economy or, and the industry and everything, if they are not rising to the cost of living, then obviously in that case, you won't see the increase in it, right? Because how others work is obviously going to have some effect. Other companies and the customers and stuff. Okay? That's a good question that I had never been asked about lease purchase or owner operator. Okay. Speaking of lease purchase and owner operator, congratulations to both Justin and Jimmy on their new lease operator contractor driver leader position. So they will be taking care of directly with our owner operators and lease purchase drivers. Reason being is, you have a little bit different needs than some of our company drivers. And so we want to make sure that you guys are getting served the way that you need to be served, or provided, serviced the way that you need to be. Yeah. Type of runs and all that kind of stuff. Communication, everything. Both of them, both Jimmy and Justin, have have a successful record of working with some of our own robbers or lease purchase drivers as well. So always a plus. A plus, plus, plus. What else? More details. Here we go. We've got Aplos. I know we talked a little bit about this the last couple of weeks, but I do want to make sure that you guys are well aware that the Aplos health plan, that is in effect. You guys should be getting new cards. If you haven't already, some of you have already gotten it. Otherwise, you can always reach out to Andrea for your information. But Aplos is in there for the medical and health and everything. I do want to say along with that, if you have an upcoming procedure or prescription or just appointment, please make sure that you're reaching out to them ahead of time so that the billing is already updated in the system. So reach out to your provider is what I'm getting at. Make sure that they're part of it. I know that there's some providers who don't work with, or sometimes say they don't work with different plans, but ours is open and therefore they can. You just need to get a hold of an Aplos team member to help you out on that coverage. So yeah, Dean says, I used it on Sunday and my prescriptions were still free. Woohoo! Yeah, it's Med1 is still there. So if you guys aren't familiar with our prescription plan, it's actually pretty impressive. Med1. But again, if with the switchover, I believe they are new numbers. We are told that they are new Med1 numbers that are assigned to you versus what you had before. But okay, so where was I going with that? The prescription plan itself. It is a $0 prescription plan for generic prescriptions, pretty much anywhere except for CVS or Walgreens. Okay, and then you have the other, like if you have to order your prescriptions, if it's a specialty or maybe a brand name prescription drug, then yes, it is still a $0 copay. It's just another route. So yes, can save you a lot of money. So if you have questions, please reach out to Aplos. Otherwise, get a hold of our benefits coordinator. Cool. Yeah, that way you've got that coverage, especially if you're, you don't want to go without, I should say. Yeah. All right. Trailer maintenance and the kind of the communication on that. I do want to address it since that was a question. I don't know if it was really a question, but it was a comment that was brought into our Facebook group the other day. Excuse me. About trailer maintenance and communication. I gotta say, it's very important. It's vital for you as a professional driver to report any deficiencies, any concerns, any maintenance issues that might need to be addressed on the trailers. You've got to do that and communicate that to our maintenance support. So our maintenance support team, reach out to the telephone number there. It is 515-574-4321. I remember this time. So yes, it's a easy number. But that's our maintenance support team. If you run into any issues, I mean, of course, with your tractor as well, tractor trailer, but with the trailer, oftentimes it doesn't get reported with the trailer, and you should be doing your pre-trip and you should be doing your post-trip. And so those specifics, those issues should be reported immediately so that we can take care of that. I mean, the plus side is if you get it on your post-trip, if you recognize it on your post-trip, we should be able to get, I said be able like 4 times. We should be able to get that done before it goes out with the other driver or before it gets picked up or whatever. And especially if we have a trailer at a customer, it has to be reported. It's not going, at that point, it's not going through our trailer shop, right? It's not. I mean, it's at a customer. If we're aware of it, we can go and get it and take care of it or go take care of it while it's there. But if you don't report it, we don't know when somebody's going to be picking up a bad trailer. And what if that trailer is full at that point? Well, then it gets even harder to work on, right? So please make sure that you are reporting any maintenance issues that we have. That said, the moment that our maintenance department, our maintenance support has those issues, they will work on it. They will diligently work on those issues, or at least quickly resolve those issues so that we can move on and, move forth. So please, very, very important that you report that. Dean says, we can throw away the old cards, right? Both Med1 and Blue Cross Shield. Yes, that is correct. Because as of the 1st, you are under APLOS. Med1 and APLOS, but it's a different number. Mm-hmm. Yes. I probably talked to at least 3 different departments when I get out of service trailer. Safety and breakdown, and then I send pics into accidents, and if I tell dispatch from that ops. Yeah. So if you're covering, you definitely covered your grounds, but getting it to the maintenance department is obviously one part, and you can do so. And if you're reporting it, like, not as an accident, but if you're uploading the images and stuff so that the maintenance department can access it, it helps. Yeah, breakdown will need to know, service trailer, and then if you're receiving it in the evening, after hours, then our night ops department can take care of it. Yep, they can help with the process, I should say. Mm-hmm. Excellent. All right. So now some of the available positions that we've got currently going on here at Decker. We have our over-the-road refrigerated. We have our more regional refrigerated that's out 11 days at a time. 3, 11 days out, 3 days home. If you're over-the-road refrigerated, you're looking at about 2 to 3 weeks out at a time and home for 4 to 5 days. Mm-hmm. We still have availability in areas of Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, Salt Lake City, Wyoming. We have closed our Missoula terminal, so today, so we don't have any available positions out of Montana, but we still have availability out west in some of those, more high traffic areas for us. Montana wasn't a big traffic area, and it really hadn't been. It's more of a through areas, but as we're kind of restructuring and making sure that, looking at numbers more and taking all of that into consideration, they've evaluated that it's not as cost efficient for us to keep the Missoula terminal going. But that doesn't mean that we won't be looking at new opportunities in the Midwest. We've recently opened the Des Moines terminal. Recently, as in the last couple of years, not as in, I think 2020. Yeah, I guess last 4 years. But last 4 or 5 years. Yeah. Anyways, but we still have availability for our over-the-road refrigerated division. Our flatbed doesn't really run out west a whole lot. So for the flatbed, you really probably wouldn't see anything west of Denver in that division. Yeah. Most of it's going to be Midwest to East. Yeah. Don't do a whole lot of New England states, New York. Every once in a while we'll have a load up there, but most of it is up and down the Midwest. Iowa to Illinois. And actually, let me tell you the area that is prime hiring area for us right now based off of current freight. Iowa, obviously, having our home terminal here in Fort Dodge, but not just Fort Dodge. We have a terminal in Minneapolis. We have one in Minneapolis-Sperry, and then we have one in Des Moines, the newer one in Des Moines, and then we have a terminal in Hammond, Indiana. So yeah, Midwest is real strong for us, freight-wise. So Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, southern Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, areas of Ohio are really good for us. Kansas City, definitely. Texas, and I'm going based off of the current availability. Excuse me, a lot of areas that we run quite a bit, but not all areas that we have availability in. Yeah, the air is dry. With all the snow that we have, it's weird how the air is so dry. So I apologize for that. Yeah. What else? What else? For over the road flatbed, more regional flatbed. So the home weekly flatbed is out of the Midwest. Although we do have a home weekly flatbed that runs the Midwest, based out of between Bessemer, Alabama, and Atlanta, Georgia. Bessemer to Atlanta, along 20 there. Yeah, that one would be our home weekly over the road flatbed division. Still, that runs a lot of the same area as our Midwest flatbed, our over the road flatbed. Mm-hmm. What about the dispatchers there? She says, well, we're kind of waiting to see what happens or like who decides to stay and whatnot for there, because in Missoula, right? So in Missoula, they're basically giving options to transition or relocate into different areas. So more to come on that throughout the day, actually. So I can't answer that fully at this moment because it's just going to depend. But that's what we're waiting on, more details. Mm-hmm. So we'll probably have more information on that by the end of the day, I think. Any other questions on that? Keep them coming if you do. Yeah. Because we started the terminal in 2010, and it has been a vital part of our growth. I mean, it's been real instrumental for sure. And some awesome people. Yeah, so if we can continue to work with them, team up with them, and support you guys, that's what we want. Yeah. But it has to work for them as well, making sure that it's what they want to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are definitely some great people. Let's see. If you're referring to the dispatchers for the lease purchase and owner operator, I don't think you are, but I just want to make sure that there are those new driver leaders for the independent contractors. They are Jimmy Mitchell and Justin Harmon. And I think a lot of you guys know that both Justin and Jimmy have worked with lease purchase and owner operators for a while, successfully. So flatbed is going to be Jimmy, because Jimmy knows flatbed so well. And then Justin is going to be covering the refrigerated owner operator lease purchase side. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I'm making sure I could tell that it was being typed, but I didn't know. Yes, okay. All right, equipment-wise, most of our equipment is the 579 Peterbilts. We have some 389s, 589s. Okay, but I want to be specific here. You're going to see 589s. You're going to see some 389s out there. Those are usually for our veteran drivers. The majority of our trucks are 579s. They're very nice trucks, well-maintained, larger. They're a larger sleeper. They're a bigger sleeper than the 389s, and I believe bigger than the 589s too. But either way, they are double bunk. They have all of the amenities: APUs, refrigerators, inverters, obviously, refrigerators, microwaves, a 22-inch television with the company paid Epic View, which is 100 plus channel, or it includes 100 plus channels. It's 22-inch TV. It's, yeah. Andrew, I am based out of, or was based out of the Missoula terminal as far as located terminals, now out of Fort Dodge. So now I'm based out of the Fort Dodge terminal. But remote. So I've been remote for many, many, many years. Just because of, our family, we moved in years ago. Dean says, how did it slow down out there? We started out with the used terminal gravel lot and then built the big one. I don't understand what slowed down. We still haul apples. Oh, freight wise, I'm not sure how much it slowed down. But with the cost of everything, so Missoula is one of the most expensive places to live in, not just Montana, in the US. I'm guessing that has a big part about it. But look, okay, so also look, here's another thing to consider. So when you look at our fuel prices at our terminals, it kind of gives you another hint. Fuel prices at the Missoula terminal are significantly higher. And that's, again, based off of the location and everything. I'm bringing up the price here, one sec. So for like the DEF itself, and this adds up, right? So in Fort Dodge and Mediapolis, the DEF at our terminals is $2.35. In Missoula, DEF is $2.50. So, and then like consider the fuel at the Decker terminals. Fort Dodge, $2.96, Mediapolis, $2.98, Missoula, $3.15. It's a big difference. And I think that it's not only, maybe the amount of freight that's out there. We still have the freight, okay? We still have the freight. We still have a lot of our professional drivers at Decker who are located in the area and who we still need them. We still need them. They're still servicing a lot of our Western loads. And I know the one thing that I've had a question on is, okay, for what about those that have their personal vehicle parked at the terminal and stuff like that? Get with your driver leader, okay? They'll be able to help you out and kind of maneuver around that transition, that part, okay? And like I said, more information to come on that as things kind of are, as communication or what do I would say, as talks spire so that we can kind of move on to the next steps based off of who decides to continue on with the team and here in Missoula. So, but yes, okay, to further explain to further respond to Dean. Yeah, it's not just that the cost of living, it's not just that we've lost loads. That's not the case. The loads are still there. We still need to service those, but having the terminal in Missoula just isn't as cost efficient for us as having one in the Midwest. Like that's why we've built up the Des Moines. That's why our Mediapolis, Sperry, and Fort Dodge terminals are so important to us because of the heavy freight line right there. Okay, and the cost of everything else is more centralized. We still have other, we'll still be able to take care of your shop needs and service needs because we have a broad freight network to get you in and out and everything, and probably going to be more convenient for you to getting into the shop in these other locations. They're also, all of our maintenance team is highly qualified across all aboard. Yeah. So, and you'll continue to work with your driver leader to get yourself scheduled and, to get you scheduled for any maintenance and stuff like that. And there aren't any other planned closures or anything. Adjustments, adjustments in some of those locations might happen. That's shocking. Who would want to live up north? My kid moved down to Atlanta. Tim Burns told me KC would be cheaper than Texas. I don't see Montana being expensive to live. It's pretty. What? Are you kidding me? It is one of the most expensive, Dean. Yeah. And I would say it's been expensive, especially compared to the Midwest. It's been expensive for a while. But you compare what Montana has been, especially the increase in the last, oh goodness, I want to say 5 years. Is that probably right? Now that you say that, now you've got my curiosity going here. I'm going to, let's see. Oh, I had seen a real estate image about, I don't know, a couple of months ago that about floored me. It talking about how Montana is like 94% of someone's income is their mortgage or rent. That's crazy. Okay, but I'm looking this up. So the median price in Montana for a house, single family home, is over $600,000. Yeah. The cost of living index of 103.7, just slightly above the national average. Yeah, it's expensive. What does it say? The dramatic increase in cost is largely attributed to the influx of wealthy out-of-state residents, particularly during the pandemic, which have driven up property values and overall expenses. It has become significantly more expensive, making challenging. Whoops, hang on, losing my. Yeah. While rural areas, some of them are more affordable. Missoula, Sydney, Kalispell, Livingston, Belgrade, Billings, Bozeman, Whitefish, it's making it pretty challenging for long-term residents to afford housing, it says. Yep. And it also says, when you look at the National Association of Realtors, Montana sits along California, Hawaii, Idaho, and Oregon for poor housing affordability. Crazy. Yeah, so pricing is a little different up here, but that taken into consideration, we are looking at alternatives and growth for Decker more in the Midwest. But like I said, we've got some of our team members who are transitioning, relocating, things like that into different positions or different locations and all of that for us. But we'll have more details on who it is later on, hopefully later on today. Yeah, more to come. We started talking about the amenities. I think we covered most of those. We have CB units in the truck. They're double bunk trucks. They're automatics, really well maintained, newer model. Trucks and trailers mostly Thermo King carriers for the refrigerated side, Wilson's for the flatbed side. Christina says, terminal was nice to do laundry, relax, shower. It's really going to be a takeaway for drivers to go through it. Yeah, we had tried really hard to make that a comfortable space for you guys and for you to be able to utilize it. But with that said, taking that into consideration, I can come back and I can find out more details for you. I'm actually going to go ahead and see if they've got some thought on like you said, with washing laundry, showers, those kind of things. Yeah, a lot of this stuff I'm probably gonna have to come back with more information on you so that we've got specifics to tell you, because some of it is just kind of a transition period where we're still ironing out certain things, or they've already been ironed out in different situations. We're just waiting for that to find out who's going to be available. So, yeah. Dean says, there you go. The pandemic may have been the cause for the change between now and 10 years ago. Oh, yeah. I mean, it had definitely been on the rise. It had. And that's one of the reasons I relocated in 2011. But it just went whew during the pandemic. Crazy amounts. Yes, indeed. Crazy amounts. Other equipment issues, or not issues, but coverage. I think we pretty much covered all of that. Seems like it's about, hang on. Not the drivers or the staff who will be relocating from the home. A lot of it is looking at big picture. Yeah, so not necessarily individuals, but more like how it's affecting the whole so that we can build as a whole. You look at some of the changes with the minimum pay, where we had the fresh meat fleet. Well, then that changed obviously as the economy dropped and the industry dropped. Some of those had to change when we had the fresh meat fleet. It was a great opportunity, but then obviously, and I think that's common throughout the industry. We adjust as we grow. We adjust as the economy grows, and then we adjust as the economy drops. And so you've got to, in order to have the longevity of the company. I mean, Decker's been in business since 1931. Actually, I think officially in 1931. Before that even, and they've had the growth, the successful growth, because they kind of take those numbers into consideration. And we really did a deep dive this year on those, making sure that we've got to have the numbers working for us in order to stay. We don't want something like, like Arrow or something like that to happen, right? We don't want that. I've seen quite a bit of companies who have gone under because they didn't look at their numbers or they ignored them because they didn't want that negative air around it. But then after the fact, then you have thousands and thousands of people who are affected. And yeah, I mean, so this is our way of looking at it is as a whole, so we can have a bigger impact for everybody, in a positive way. There are some that are affected that it isn't as positive. But like I said, they've opened up the opportunity for them if they are willing to, because we have some awesome team members out of there. Awesome. I love working with them. Absolutely enjoy it. And we want to be able to take care of them and use them and help them use that, support our professional drivers and all that, just the way they have been. We are communicating. That is the point of me sharing this with you now, is trying to make sure that you stay in the loop. We've actually had more communication in the last 10 months going out, making sure that you're well aware of our growth and our changes, so that you're not left in the dark, because we've had so many changes. We wanted to make sure that you were aware of them, that you're not sitting there questioning without answers. Then this is probably a good. Hi, David. How are you? This is a good time to mention, for those of you who are part of the Decker family, make sure that you are reading your weekly newsletters. And it's not just the newsletters. We are sending out notifications, or communication, I should say, on a regular basis. So your TransFlow app, on the tablet, if you can access on the tablet, or you can access it on your phone, the TransFlow app, but the communications go on there as well. So we email it, and then we put it on here, because some of you prefer email, and then some of you don't have email. I have a few people that don't have email at all. So we try and communicate that way. So yeah, it's definitely some changes, and we've tried our best to communicate for the way that, I mean, we, without being able to call everybody specifically, one by one, individually, I meant to say, you've got your driver leaders who you talk to on a regular basis, but, from management to be able to call every single person. Instead, they're sending out communication through emails, through TransFlow, making sure that you guys are in the loop. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Just making sure I didn't miss any comment. Hard to just. Yeah. That is a fair comment, Christina. That is a fair comment. Trust, I guess. Yes. That's where I'm at. Did we? I don't. Andrew's asking, did we get new load planners? We've been hiring in the Des Moines office. I've seen hiring recently in the Des Moines office. Whether or not it's specific to load planners, I think there's been at least one here in the near recent. Is that a word? Is that a phrase? I know we've got some driver leaders for sure. David, I'm with you, and I feel that way as even as the support staff. Informed drivers or retained drivers. Yeah, and that my own comfort level. Had they not been communicating and been, giving us updates on things were changing and this, and yeah, I definitely appreciate the communication that they're getting to us. Okay, let me see. Load planners, that's what you're asking. Yeah, I don't know if we have, I'm trying to think, some of the new opportunities that we'd seen. I thought I saw. Okay. Bear with me. I'm just making sure. I'm going to look for some of the available positions out of Des Moines so you guys can kind of have an idea. We also have some in Fort Dodge. But if it slows down my feed a little bit, I really apologize, you guys. Sometimes when I'm searching it, it's... Let's see. What would it have done had they, I mean, because it was still available a few weeks ago. What would it have done to, how would that have helped? I mean, I understand, like, with some of those who are looking maybe, but so Des Moines, driver leader opportunity in Des Moines, as well as Fort Dodge, and then some technician opportunities as well. Hammond, Indiana also. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's what it looks like we've got currently available out of the area, out of the Midwest, I should say. Diesel mechanic in Sperry as well. But I don't see any open planner opportunities yet. Yet or will or not, that I don't know yet. Good questions. Open annual was done on the 73 series reefer trailer before they haul it back. If it's still out there. Told me one was out there, maybe an advertisement trailer, Indiana plate. I think that's the anniversary, this 75th. anniversary. Is that the one that you're referring to? Oops, sorry. That is one that's still in circulation. Yeah. You look like Max Headroom when you're when it lags. I don't even know how to respond to that. So it just smears all over David. That's not man, what is that character from? Oh man. Dean, I think you're referring to, and I'm not positive, I want to say you're referring to the 75th anniversary, because that's the one that I know of that it was still out there. It's in very good shape, that I'm aware of, I should say. Last I was told, at least. That's probably it. Okay, yeah. I was going to say, that's the only one that I am aware of. And yes, it is definitely one of our older trailers. It is a big advertisement as well. It's a big brand, I should say. I don't know about advertisement, but a big branding opportunity. But at the same sense, it's been over 90 years. You know, I mean, we're getting closer to that 100 for sure. Yes. What an achievement. All right. What did I just see here? Think. Okay. All right. I think I could be. I'm gonna look. I will have to look. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'll have to look at what that is, dude. All right. Christina. I'm gonna look it up as soon as I'm done. Isn't that funny? Max Headroom doing it. I don't want to throw everything else off. All right. I'm gonna keep you in the loop as I get updates. I will be sharing those. I do know that there's more coming out, I believe, later today. So we'll be getting up to date on more information. So we'll share with you what that is, what that looks like. But yeah, keep in the loop. And also in the Facebook page, I've been trying to answer some of the questions. Some of them are already answered, so I let them be. I probably should confirm for you so that you know. So there isn't speculation. You know what? Sometimes you've got the speculation, and sometimes you've got just they're legit, they're right answers, and so you leave it be, but it probably should confirm that. Yep, that is correct. Mm-hmm. Yes, if you have a new driver leader, they'll be contacting you later today. That's why I say we'll have more to come today, because we'll know who will be continuing on and who will chooses not to. So, yeah, for updates. All right. Okay. Benefits start after 60 days. 60 days. We've got, I almost said it. We got Aplos. We have Med1 for prescription. We also have virtual doctors. I know a lot of you guys use those. I personally love the convenience of that. So you can just get on your tablet, get on your your phone and have a virtual doctor appointment. So much easier when you're out on the road. And you can also do the, you can also get your prescriptions updated, yeah, through that as well, which is convenient. Christy just says, yes, it is. David says, one of your purchase companies was Anthem from Eagle Grove, Iowa. If you count them, you've been in business since 1950. We've been in business since 1931, officially 1931. I think the first load was either 1928 or 1939, but with the official documentation, it was 1931. Yeah. But you're right, with Anthem, I always say that wrong. That one we've been in business. We took that over. And I was just trying to think. Charles, I believe, came over. Charles was, I don't know if you guys follow us on Facebook at all, but as of last Thursday, right? Yeah, I think it was Thursday. Charles Zimmerman, he retired, and he was one of our many that came from Anthem. So, yes. Retirement. He gets to live it. Yes. 1931, that's right. Yeah. That one I remember because it's on our logo. Yeah, since 1931. All right. Well, more information to come. We'll keep you in the loop. And if you guys have more questions, do not hesitate to reach out. You can reach out to us. I guess probably the easiest way is either to give us a call or reach out to me on Facebook, facebook.com/DTLink. Messenger, go through the messenger or whatever and ask your questions. I'll be able to answer those. David says 1984. When we purchased that one. Yes. I think that's right. Some of those I have to put down on notes, David. I can't remember all the dates. But that's when Don was Mr. Decker. He had resumed. I think it was 84. Is that right? 20. Dean says 23 years for Charles. That's right. Yeah, I knew he was shy of 25. So it couldn't have been 84. Yeah. And I know we had quite a few that came over from Anthem. We had driver leaders and drivers and maybe planners, mechanics. Yeah, quite a bit. So it must have been 01 or 02. I thought it was 02 that it all happened. So that sounds about right. Right? Sounds about right. It must have been 02. I was pretty sure that's what it was. It was 02 when it was bought out from us. Or when Decker bought it out. Yeah. All right, David says, have a great day. I hope it's not snowing in Missoula. Not snowing where I'm at. I'm in central Montana. Not snowing where I'm at. We have sun. I'm hoping it melts some of the ice because it is, I swear, in areas, no lie, there's ice that thick. And then they've cleared the roads in, some of the roads. Most of the highways, interstates, those are clear. It's the side roads and stuff, some of the areas you'd be delivering in. Ice, ridiculous. Super duper ridiculous. Unthinkable would be a lot more around 2000 because Dave Chapman drove for them. Unthinkable? Yeah, it was, I'm pretty sure it was 02. 02. And then another, I believe, in 06. So, yeah. All right, more to come later today. I will keep you, I don't know if we'll go live, or I know more information through emails, but like I said, if you guys have questions, please reach out to me. And then as the questions come in, I'll do my very best to get those answers. And otherwise, we'll get more updates all the way around, okay? Cool. Yeah. Okay. I think we covered all grounds on the comments. All right, you guys, you have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll talk more. We'll be here next week, noon Central, on our YouTube channel, or 4 p.m. on our Facebook. And then we'll probably hop on TikTok later this week as well to answer questions, if it's still up and running, right? Unthinkable, not unthinkable. No, that's what I was like. You'd say the same thing. All right, have a wonderful day. And like I said, if you have questions, please reach out to me. Don't hesitate. Facebook.com/detailing is probably the next, the best way to get a hold if you're chatting this way. You can, if your driver leader is currently in Missoula, I would continue to call that number, and it should be routed to, if that individual is not still covering you, then it would be, it will be routed to somebody else, that call, to the backup. Mm-hmm. But yes, not unthinkable. Yeah, Dean. But yes, that should help you out. So you shouldn't have to call another number. If you are running into that, then by all means you may call Fort Dodge, Des Moines. Mm-hmm. But you shouldn't even have to do that extra work. It should just be transferred for you. Okay. All right. Stay tuned for more information. We will talk to you guys later. Please be safe, okay? Please be safe. And yes, now I'm going to go.